the mask was not forged, but grown, a living punishment fused to the face of a man who loved power more than the sun. This man, the silent terror known only as Chief Abayomi, ruled our coast not by decree, but by the absence of sound. His presence heavier than the humidity before the rain. But before the mask, before the silence, there was just Efe. Efe was not born of high lineage, but of deep knowledge. He was the most brilliant apprentice the herbalists of the coast have seen in generations. He had a voice like a talking drum, rich, deep, and capable of weaving stories that healed a troubled mind long before his portions healed the body. His hands, nimble and stained green with plant sap, were meant to save life. The village loved him. They knew that if he could just summon a will to be ruthless, he would be their next Oloye. But if he was too kind, too gentle, his kindness, they whispered, was a flaw in the face of leadership. Then the sickness came, a red dot that swept in from the swamps and claimed the current chief. Fear, a panic more infectious than the rot itself, took hold, while Efe walked tirelessly, mixing curses and saving dozens with his quiet wisdom. A rival, a man named Ade, was loud. Ade promised swift, violent quarantines and harsh justice. He spoke the language of fear, and in their panic, the villagers began to listen. Efe saw his chance to truly lead, to protect his people with compassion, slipping away like sand through his fingers. He realized kindness alone would not win this tool, and in that fear, a new dark hunger was born, the paralyzing fear of being powerless. He had to get this tool, he had to be the chief, and to do that, he would have to sacrifice the thing he cherished the most, his own good heart. Efe walked away from the village light, the home of the people he desperately wanted to save, ringing in his ear. He followed a path no honest man took, the ancient, winding track that led deep into the sacred, shadowed heart of the forest, the place where the ancestors were said to dwell, and where the whispered-off iron sage kept his watch. The sage was a figure of shadows and copper skin, wrapped in rough cloth and smelling of ash and forgotten rituals. He sat beneath a towering iroko tree, his eye like polished stones. Efe laid out his fear, his ambition, and his plea. The sage listened silently as a statue carved from ebony, before gesturing to an object nestled in the roots, a mask. It was stunning, silver inlaid iron, polished to a deep sheen, reflecting the dying sunlight. It is the power of unwavering authority, the sage's voice scrapped, dry as the Amantine dust itself. When you wear it, your silence will compel, your presence will be law. You will be the chief this village needs to fear, not the one they love. Efe's heart pounded, a quick, nervous rhythm. He reached out for it. The sage leaned forward, his voice dropping to a harsh whisper. But hear the price, Efe, son of the heart. You wear it to secure the stool, to save the people from the disease and the rival. But you must remove it the moment the battle is won. If you wear it for love of the power itself, if you let the silence of command become your new voice, then you will be its vessel, and your true self will be silenced forever. You will trade your life's purpose for an eternal echoing authority. If he closed the cold metal, he saw himself, the great leader, his people bowing in respect, safe under his ironwood rule. He looked back at the darkening path towards the village and the rival Ade. The fear of failure was a physical weight on his chest. I swear by my spirit and ancestors, Efe vowed, his voice shaking. I will only wear it to secure it too. I will serve the people, and then the mask will rest. He placed the mask over his face. The world did not go dark, but silent. He felt the cold metal fused to his skin, not painfully, but with a terrifying finality. He no longer needs to speak. His every breath was authority. The next morning, the new Efe, silent, terrifying and masked, returned. He won the village council over with a single, unblinking glare, securing the chiefdom over the stunned and silent Ade. He had the stool, the people were safe, the mask should have come off, but Efe tested the intoxicating simplicity of absolute command. He loved the speed of decision, the instant, fearful obedience. This was how a village was run. This was how you led. The iron had found a comfortable home. He broke his promise. He justified his betrayal to the setting sun. It's necessary to maintain order. The transformation had begun. The silent chief was efficient, terrifyingly so. Under his rule, the village became prosperous, but laughter died. Prosperity was now purchased with fear. If he had justified keeping the mask as a temporary necessity, now it had become his very breath. The subtle shift in his soul, the corrosion of his empathy, was quick and absolute. When the village's main well began to run dry, the people whispered their concerns, remembering the kindness of the herbalist who always had a remedy. They waited for his counsel, but the iron mask had no counsel. It had only orders. Instead of organizing the community to dig a new well with care. The chief ordered them to keep digging the old one. He didn't speak the order. He simply pointed to the hole, then pointed to the sun, and the clang of his iron mask against the royal stool was all the clarity they needed. The people dug until their hands bled, the desperation of fear mounting, while Chief Abayomi watched from the shadows of his palace. His kindness was gone, his evil decision was cold, ruthless, and devoid of the mercy he had once cherished. His anger, once real, now settled upon the village like a suffocating, blinding harmattan dust, dry, inescapable, and lethal to the soul. One night, Nana Isi, Efe's aging mentor and the wisest herbalist in the land, came to the palace. She refused to bow. Nana Efe's voice, old and cracked but firm. Efe, my son, I do not see the leader of my people. I see only a mirror of iron reflecting your terrible ambition. It is done. The village is safe. The fever is gone. Remove the mask before you lose yourself completely. The chief turned slowly. The silence was agonizing. Nana Isi reached for the mask. In a moment of blind, terrifying rage, the rage of man whose pride had been challenged, if he tried to tear the mask off himself, he clawed at the polished metal, seeking to remove the cold symbol of his betrayer, wanting to desperately show her the man he used to be. But the mask was no longer separate from him. It was in that horrifying final moment that Chief Abayomi was born. The iron had fused to his skin, to the bone of his brow, wrapping around his jaw like a permanent cold rage. He could not tear it off. He could not speak the words of apology nor mercy. A final gut-wrenching silent scream of pure terror escaped him, trapped forever behind the barrier of the cold black iron. It was the last sound of Efe's soul dying. He had achieved the power of unwavering authority, and in doing so, he had become the very thing he sought to defeat. He looked at Nana Isi, the horror in her eyes, the only true mirror left to him, and then, with the heavy clang of metal, he simply pointed to the palace door. The gentle healer was gone, only the cruel tyrant remained. And so, Chief Abayomi, the man sealed in iron, ruled the village for decades. The silence was his greatest weapon and his greatest cause. His people thrived outwardly. The granaries were full, the roads were straight, but they lived under a blanket of cold, permanent terror. No one laughed near the palace. No one dared to speak his name. He had won the authority he craved, but the cost was absolute. Every day, the man served as a constant reminder that he had chosen power over principle, command over compassion. The iron had not made him strong. It had simply enclosed and preserved his profound weakness. The tale of the Iron Mask is not a story about a witch's curse or demon's trick. It is a lesson about human heart and the devastating choice we all face when we step into power. The mask was not a gift of strength. It was a perfect mirror. It did not create cruelty. It merely sealed the wickedness that was already growing quietly in Efe's heart the moment he feared losing this tool more than he feared losing his soul. It teaches us that the greatest power a leader can lose is not their voice, but their humanity. Ambition without a soul is just poison in a beautiful cup. The villagers saw Efe as a savior before the mask. Do you believe true wickedness can be born from a good intention, or a cruel soul simply waiting for the right tool? Let us know in the comment below, and tell us which African proverb best describes Efe's tragic choice.